What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more punk rock, and we're back with some more Bad Religion. And we're actually back with another tune from their new Maps of Hell album. Really fond of this one. I mean, honestly, I'm not sure there's any Bad Religion album that I'm not going to say I'm very fond of. But this was one that made a big impression on me. There's just so many good songs on it. I've already reacted to New Dark Ages. Did I react to anything else on this one? I don't think I did. So yeah, I guess this is only the second one I've done from it, but it's a great album top to bottom, I mean, honestly. But we're going to do a tune called Before You Die. I really like this one musically. It just has a great sound, and I love the way the verses sort of interact with the sonics and the rhythm of the piece, which is to say it's just well structured. Like, the lyrics are interesting, I'll get to that in a second, but the way that they're integrated with the music I find to be very engaging. And then secondly, it just has a great like riff and a great lead into the chorus. So there are a number of like musical aspects that I like a lot. Lyrically, it's interesting. I think I have a general sort of appreciation for what the song is doing, though it is a bit more opaque than some of their other songs to me. So let me know if you have a different take. But basically, the way I see it is that it's a song talking about not wanting to fade away over time, and like feeling as if the sort of like brutalities and the struggles and trials of everyday existence and whatever you do, that they're ultimately like, you know, you're like plaster and you're being sandblasted. There's I think a metaphor like that in the song. And then the question is, like, when you feel the sort of weight and sort of like erosion of time, what are you doing with that time? Because ultimately the song sort of like portends disaster, and it's like, you know, if too many people spend their time because of this sort of feeling, this malaise and feeling like they're wasting away, if too many spend their time just wandering about, what's the line? It's something like wandering lost and resigned, instead of sort of like trying to create something new and like, you know, bring back something truly human, then we're ultimately, you know, running toward a red light. It's going to be disaster for everybody. But it is also this question of like, as a mortal being who lives decades, like over time, it's not impossible to feel this malaise, this like slipping away, and like everything else is increasingly like plastic and it doesn't matter. So the song, I think, is like one, like just speaking to the experience of being a long-lived immortal being, but then secondly, it's speaking to the sort of the way in which some people might be inclined not to let that malaise stop them from trying to create things and engage in actions that are eminently human and are about, you know, sort of building something new and better. So again, I'm not sure if that's exactly where the song, you know, as it was written, is intended, but that's the way that my brain has taken it. Sort of this tension between feeling a malaise but not letting it stop you from creating and doing things, which again, when it gets to the line, so think before you die. Don't just wander around and, you know, be resigned that, oh, this is all just plastic bullshit and, you know, nothing really matters, and then you die. Like, think, like maybe try to come to a new understanding, and perhaps that will compel you to engage in certain actions. So yeah, that's what I think is the central tension of the song. Let me know if you have a different take, or if, you know, you've read an interview with, you know, Greg or Brett. I'm gonna guess that this was written by Greg, but let me just check really quick. All right. Okay, so this song was written. Oh, it's not gonna show me here. Well. Let's see if it shows it on the main release. Okay, so does it show it? No, it doesn't show it. So I have no clear indication here. It might be in the liner notes, but where are they? New Maps of Hell. It's right here. So again, I'm not going to take it off the wall because it'd be a pain. And like, when I put all this stuff up, I basically broke my hand. I did it all over the course of like a week or two, and like honestly, my hand was dead at the end of the 2 weeks. So I don't want to revisit that. But someone let me know if this is written by Greg or whether it's actually a Brett song or, you know, another person in the band. But yeah, here we go. This is Before You Die by Bad Religion on their album New Maps of Hell, which is from 2007. rhythm of this song. It's a little bit slower than some of their other stuff, but has a nice groove. The hopeless sense of time. Or what is it? I think it's like the sands of time. He actually was like referring to the world, not just a person. Come on, guitars.
Deficit and deprivation in the wake of desperation. Rewrite the morals, rectify the nation. Now may be a time as you ruminate
The hopeless sands of time.
Do you wonder how your life has been defined? You know eternity can't ever change your mind. You know eternity can't ever change your mind. So think before you die. Whoa, think.
I love that. Just that little melodic. Brilliant. As I said, and as I'm listening to the song now, I like even remembered it a little bit wrong. Like I was thinking that the line about like feeling like you're under the pressure of the blaster, like you're just plaster, was about like his experience as a person, or a living being, a mortal being aging. But it was actually about like our world like eroding. So again, like I think maybe it was a little tilted more toward the other side of the interpretation that I was saying, where like if enough people just resign to like not really, I can't like be bothered to think about all this, and I can't think of anything better to do, like this is just all bullshit and whatever. If too many people resign themselves to that wandering sort of lost approach, that societal doom might not be too far on the horizon. So it did hit me a little bit even different than I remembered it, despite like being a little unsure about exactly where the lyrics were running. So let me know if someone has a different interpretation, or at least like a better understanding of certain parts of the lyrics there. As I said, like even the chorus, I was thinking it was like your lost sense of time, but it was actually something about like the sands of time. So yeah, this one hit me a little differently than I remembered, which is enjoyable. As I mentioned, when I did a lot of techno reactions, still doing techno reactions, but obviously not as voluminously as on my old channel, where they were like 85% of what I was doing, even by the end when I was starting to branch out a bit. But I said in relation to a number of those techno reactions, wow, I know this tune and I've heard it over the years many times, but sitting down and just really kind of listening to the different parts as like an experience, rather than like as a DJ where you're listening to different tunes at the same time and getting ready to mix and whatever. It made me come to a new understanding of some of those tracks that I've listened to for like 20 years. And it's been the same thing when listening to punk rock and some of these other normal music styles that I've been reacting to. So that was an interesting one, and like I said, I really do enjoy this album. We'll come back for more tunes on it, but I mentioned there's like several that I haven't reacted to, or several albums of Bad Religions that I haven't reacted to a tune yet from, such as True North and Descent of Man, Age of Unreason, a lot of the more recent ones basically. So yeah, I'm gonna get to some of those, but yeah, I'm gonna have to loop back for some on this album and some of the earlier stuff again. So again, just call out any album or any song that you'd like to hear reacted to. Getting a few more requests these days, so you know, I'll try to keep everything in mind, but if one does slip from my brain, feel free to just comment again, like, hey, did you remember whatever? I'll be like, oh, hey, not bad. I'll write that down. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to try to get to everything, but do let me know if there's something you want to hear. Other than that, thank you for listening and watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a good day, have a good night. I'll see you next time. Peace.